What is up, guys? It is Lyon, Rieve here, and we're doing something a little bit different today. We have current events, yeah! And, yes, I'm cheating. I have a notebook with current event notes on it, because that's how I roll. But, yeah, I just figured, just doing games and music stuff, which is coming. I promise it's coming, and there might even be one with this video, not sure yet. But, yeah, so I figured other than doing just music and games, might as well do some, stuff that's like community and like social and stuff, because YouTube is, I guess, technically a social network. Found that out. But, yeah, so figured we would start out with just a little bit of stuff like this. I don't do politics a whole lot. Politics, they get scary. I try to stay away from scary as much as possible. Like opinions, politics, like they're kind of different, and opinions are cool, but politics they're like opinions on crack. So we're going to try and stay away from those, but we're going to start out with world news, because, what's going on in the world is kind of a big thing. So to start out, there's been a typhoon that hit the Philippines called Typhoon Haiyan or Haiyan. I don't know how to say it. I'm not Filipino. I don't really know. But there's a death count currently of 4,000 people, and that's just as of now. It's estimated there could be, due to all the rubble and debris, more than 10,000 people who died in this, and that's really crazy. But 4,000 as of now is the toll, and it's been over a week now. But this was the second biggest hurricane that the Philippines have ever seen, ever, which is saying a lot because they get them pretty frequently given their location. So that's pretty nuts in itself. But on top of it, there's also a little bit of interest with China. Now, China and the Philippines have been a little bit at odds. What is it? Manila and Beijing have kind of been at odds. Like they're sort of going to court because I guess Beijing has claims to the South China Sea that the Filipinos think historically should be theirs, and they're bringing this up now. Don't know why this just happened now, but it's what happened. And there's been some tension between the two, and because of that, a lot of people speculate that China's been really kind of skimping out on helping the Filipinos and with all of the problems that have come with this hurricane. Like a lot of countries have done a lot to help them out because there's been over $1 billion worth of damage in structural damages and whatnot and people's lives, and a lot of countries have helped. China, not quite as much. They donated like 200,000, which sounds like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not really much, and minimal help, I guess, as far as ships sent out and whatnot. Well, they got criticized so much that they finally changed that, and they're like, oh crap, well, we're getting kind of beat down for this a little bit. So they sent out the Peace Ark, or are sending out the Peace Ark, which is a hospital ship, as they put it, and it's chock full of medical supplies and medical staff ready to go there and help. And it's a 14,000-ton ship. That's big. Like I couldn't find anything on more stats on it, but 14,000 tons, like. That's a pretty substantial sized ship, and it's very, very a good gesture from them. And they've also, but from their $200,000 like original point of help financially, and this is in U.S. dollars, just because that's getting these off of U.S. research. So sorry if you're foreign and don't care about U.S. dollars, but they went from 200,000 U.S. dollars to 1.8 million U.S. dollars. So a big jump there, which I don't know. It sounds like a huge thing, but I personally think that they're just trying to save face. Like that just seems like what's going on. They only changed all this after they were criticized. So it sort of seems like, I don't know. I don't know if it's really out of a bunch of generosity. A lot of politics really isn't off of just generosity, so that would make sense. But just curious, what do you guys think? Are they doing it to save face? Are they doing it because they're nice? Like, why all of a sudden this? But fun fact, not to toot U.S. horn, because there's debates even about this, but when China did $1.8 million to donate to them, U.S. did $37 million, plus 50 various ships and air vehicles to get people to safety and whatnot. So that's what the U.S. did. Could be good, could be bad. We got a lot of financial issues already, so it's really it's 2 of one, half a dozen of the other on whether that's good or bad. But fun fact. All right, next. Next up, we have the Too Fat to Fly Frenchman. And this is kind of a stupid story, really. I mean, but there's a man from France, hence Frenchman, who came to the U.S. to get some, surgery or some treatments for a hormonal, a hormonal imbalance, a hormone imbalance treatment. And his name is Kevin Chanay. I don't know how to say it, not French, but he's 22 years old and weighs 500 pounds. 500 pounds, that's like 3 of me almost, okay? 2 1/3, round there. It's pretty heavily obese, and that he went to the U.S. to get this done, was flown there by British Airlines to have all this taken care of, and when he got done with the surgery or the treatment and whatnot, he was refused by British Airways because he was too heavy to come back, even though they had sent him there. They flew him to get his treatment and would not take him after he got it, which is ridiculous. It makes no sense. Why would this happen? It's just dumb. But so he dealt with that, said, all right, if they're not going to take me, well, then next step. So he went to try and get help from the Queen Mary II, which is, a commercial freighter, not freighter, but commercial transport that, would take him as a British transport. And they also refused him under the same grounds of he was too heavy. He was too heavy, so they wouldn't take him. 500 pounds, it's the equivalent of, 2, maybe 3 people, well, 3, maybe 4, depending, but still, it seems ridiculous that they would do that, and it kind of comes up why further, but after getting shot down by both of them, he finally managed to have Virgin Airlines take him to Heathrow Airport in London, so he got back to the UK, to Europe, not back to France, but he got to Europe at least, and with economy seating, which he was thankful for. But when he got there, he complained. He was interviewed when he was back, and he complained that it was uncomfortable, and I'm grateful, but the seats were too small, and he was uncomfortable. I don't get why would he complain? They took him in the first place. Yes, seats aren't meant for someone that size. Most of us aren't that size, and it's kind of, I don't know, it seems a little bit not great that he would complain after having all that done and on economy seating. They didn't charge him more for his size because he would have taken more space than most people. They took him as a fair passenger, and he's complained about it. I mean, it's understandable, but I don't necessarily think it was right. But then, as he was, getting ready to be taken back, get across the sea, just on a whatever, or across back to Europe, and then go on, I think, a Euro train, it said? Yes. He was going to do a Eurostar train, was supposed to take him back to France, but refused him as his weight meant we would not be able to take care of this person or carry him to evacuate him, which seems ridiculous. You'd think there'd be ways around that other than completely refusing service. I don't know, sign a waiver, something that just says, hey, if something happens, we probably can't do much for you. Sorry, but we'll take you anyways. You'd think they would do that. I don't get that. All of this is just so ridiculous. What do you think? What should he have done, or what should the airlines and the boat and the train company, what should they have all done? I mean, I feel like this wouldn't be in the news if it wasn't a really stupid issue. So, I don't know. Stupid, methinks. Let me know. Next. And lastly, we don't really have much world news on this one, but it's an interesting U.S. thing. New York City. In New York, Mayor Michael Bloomberg signed a law out to say that the cigarettes could only be smoked by someone 21 or older. They raised the appropriate age or the legal age to be able to smoke to 21, which is the first major city in the U.S. to ever do that. And it's ironic because it's the largest, pretty much. And it's now, on top of being 21 and up for cigarettes, it's also that for all tobacco products and e-cigarettes, which causes a pretty radical uproar. They were already hitting it pretty hard. You can't smoke in restaurants, beaches, parks, parking lots, public places, all these different things already established in New York City, and now they have that on top of it, and it's causing a lot of not happy people. It's working because the smoking percentage from 2002 was 21.5% of adults smoked. Now in 2011, okay, not now, but in 2011, it dropped to 14.8%. So it's almost, that's like 8 years, but or 9 years. But they did accomplish their goal with the excise tax also added to it, which basically means that each pack of cigarettes for a New York City citizen is like, I think $10.50 is the lowest that you could get, because tax is there for the excise tax because the government can tax it, and boom, there's nothing you can do. It is what it is. It's $5.85 per pack of cigarettes in New York City. So if you're a smoker and you plan on moving to New York, you might want to either get a really good job, have really good resistance to being broke, or not smoke. One of the three. But so that's all been quite interesting. And I feel like, I don't know, like having the drinking and smoking age 21, like they're going to have like the most crazy like 21-year-old birthday parties ever. Like they're just going to be like smoking like chimneys and drinking like fish. It's going to be like, rah, rah. It's just going to be crazy. Like, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that really should be that? Like, do you think what they're doing is good, bad, medium? I personally, I'm not a smoker, and I know smoking is really screwed with a lot of stuff in a lot of people's lives. So not really for smoking. Like, I feel like, especially if you're like in a small enclosed space, that being stuck with people who can smoke, like in a restaurant and whatnot, bars and stuff like that. I get. Parks and stuff, I don't know how much smoke is put into the air and if it does do anything to the environment or not. If it does, I can understand, but it would take more than just New York, although that's a big step because it's a big place. But yeah, opinions, let me know. I will gladly chat with anybody who wants to chat about whatever's on here. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff, and we'll start getting regular intervals for these things as soon as I get moved, which should be a little more than a month or so, but then I'll have reliable internet instead of going to the library to get my stuff on the internet. Yeah. So, thank you very much. Have a good day or night or whatever. Adios.
Thank you and goodbye.